There's a place in the woods called Aspen Ridge, and we're lucky enough to call this little slice of heaven our home. We're the Popple people. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. This year, we've got an abundance of Saskatoon berries, also called Juneberries, also called Serviceberries. They are just dripping off the trees here at Aspen Ridge, and it is easy picking. Most of these bushes are hanging right over our trails, or they're not very far off of our trails, so we've been harvesting all that we can. These are so easy to pick. They're much like a blueberry with the way they come off and the way they grow, except they're on this tree, so you don't have to be on your hands and knees or bent over to do the picking.
Just like blueberries.
These were so easy to pick, we even got Popple Padre to stop by and pick some berries as well. Because these are slightly bigger berries, they're about the size of a blueberry, they're quick and easy to clean and sort. I also like to separate out the ones that are a little bit redder. They can sit on the counter for a few days just to ripen a bit more. These are quick and easy to clean, and then as you can see here, the ones that are a little bit on the redder side of things, they can sit on the counter for a few days just to ripen up a bit more. Because we've harvested so many, we're going to freeze some of these. Quick and easy to do that. Just lay a single layer of clean berries on a pan, put them in the freezer overnight, and then after that, they can be bagged. We like to do this and freeze these berries because it's a quick and easy way that you can pull some out in the middle of winter and make a fresh batch of jam. Or you can also pull out just a handful of berries and make some yummy pancakes with them as well. Speaking of pancakes, we're going to make some fresh here as well. So you'd make these the same way that you would prepare blueberry pancakes. So we ended up with a rainy day here at Aspen Ridge, and that is the perfect day for canning up some jam. So there was a little bit of prep work before we got started, just making sure all of our jars and rings and all of that stuff was sterilized to start with. Oh, you can hear the air conditioner running in the background, trying to keep some of the humidity out of the house here. Now that we've got everything cleaned, let's just set those items aside here, and then we'll get right into preparing what we need to for making our Saskatoon jam. So with these jams that we're making today, we've got to put a little bit of lemon juice in. It just helps with making the jam set a little bit better by lowering the pH a bit more. So Tater and I are going to actually make two different batches of Saskatoon jam. He's going to make a batch with a sugar substitute in it, and then I'm going to be making a batch with just regular real sugar. So we wanted to make these batches side by side just to see how they compare in terms of flavor, texture, how they turn out. As I said, my recipe calls for just regular sugar. He's doing a slightly different recipe and making his batch with erythritol, which is a sugar substitute. So you'll see us doing things just a little bit differently here at the start of the process. And I will put both of these recipes down in the description below in case you're interested in trying either of these yourself. Once we got to the point where everything but the lemon juice was in the pot, we just did a side-by-side comparison picture here. You can see there's a bit of a coloration difference between the two. And to be honest with you, probably that coloration difference is simply because the sugar substitute just does not dissolve the same way real sugar does. And while we're busy doing this, You'll see here the supervisor, she's sticking close by, keeping an eye on things. Once everything is cooked and the mixture starts to congeal, that means it's time to start spooning it out into jars. You'll be able to tell when that consistency changes pretty easily. And since we're going to be actually canning this jam, we did preheat our lids in a water bath. Since we weren't exactly sure how much jam we'd get from each batch, I did sterilize a few extra jars just to make sure we had enough clean ones and wouldn't run out. And that last little bit of jam from the bottom of the pan there won't actually get canned. We'll just put that in the fridge and use it right away. In fact, we're probably going to be eating that tonight yet. Then because we did 2 different recipes, we did have a slightly different amount of canning time for each. Have you ever noticed how all those cooking shows are always just showing you a perfectly staged kitchen? Well, in case you're wondering what a disaster your kitchen's going to be when you're done, here's what we've got for dishes afterwards. And to be honest with you, it's actually not too bad. A few minutes of cleaning, getting everything into the dishwasher, boom, done. Here's what we ended up with. I got just a hair over 4 cups of jam, and Tater got just over 6 cups. Not too shabby. So the whole point of this was for us to do a side-by-side comparison, and you'll see here that the jam made with real sugar turned out a bit darker in color, and Tater's with the sugar substitute did get a little bit grainy just because it didn't dissolve quite the same way, but both of these taste amazing. The only thing I'd change on my batch is I wish I would have mashed the berries just a little bit more. It turned out a bit chunky for my liking, but that's just a matter of personal preference. It still tastes incredible. And in case you're wondering, this almost tastes like a combination of blueberry and raspberry jam. This makes a really good pancake topping, and you could also use it like a sauce on ice cream too. If you'd like to get a hold of us with questions or comments, please email us at thepopplepeople, all one word, @gmail.com, or you can plop a comment below. We love hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that like button. And if you'd like to follow our journey, please consider subscribing. That way, you can be a Popple People too. We'll see you soon.